So welcome to the EV vlog episode 3. I've decided to do this particular episode on four-wheel drive electric cars. Now, not only looking at used, but also looking at new, because there aren't many used options which are great value. So we can use the spreadsheet again, which I've populated with front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, aka four-wheel drive, and rear-wheel drive. Because maybe a lot of people don't realise that a lot of these electric cars are actually rear-wheel drive. And if people have ever been in bad weather, snow, etc., it's something to be, maybe take into account. There are three cars I like to concentrate on the used car market, which are the best price or the cheapest, because we're trying to find the best value, cheapest electric 4x4. Because there's a lot of people out there that need four-wheel drive, whether it's for the winter, for security, many reasons, and I thought I'd start there because I've had a couple of friends that have mentioned it recently. I thought, well, I can't see any information on it out there online, so I thought this would be a great resource. If we type in, we get rid of front wheel drive and rear wheel drive and click all wheel drive, that would just bring up all the all wheel drive cars. Now, I haven't got every single used car on here, but all of the ones that are less than the brand new price. So as you can see, there's not many out there, but we'll go to the new list in a minute, which has more on. So cheapest, if we go smallest to largest. So at the top here, what is the cheapest four-wheel drive car, electric? It's the Jaguar I-Pace. Now the Jaguar I-Pace, they do three different models. They do the S, the SE and the HSE, but they've all got the same electric motors and battery. S being the least spec, HSE being top spec. So we've got 230 mile range. Now, going back to range, where I get this range from, it's not WLTP, it's the EV database. Go on the EV database. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way, but I think it's the best resource. But the EV database will give you that best overall mileage range. Now, in the summer, that could well be, if you drive it really sensibly, under 50 miles an hour, on a warm day, you might even get up to 300. But if you drive in the winter with everything on a cold day, then it might actually be more like 180. So, and obviously it depends on how fast you go and how you drive it. So let's take this example, because EV database, they use this as a good average, which I think is quite accurate. So you've got 235 miles, which isn't too bad if you think about it. As a comparison there, a Tesla Model 3 long range, which is the car that I've managed to get, is around about 280, and a Nissan Leaf right at the bottom of the scale, with some battery degradation, you're talking about 70 miles. And most people can do their mileage within that 235, certainly commute. Efficiency is 360, which isn't great, but I don't expect any of these electric four-wheel drives to be great, but we can have a look at what is the best in a second. So 360 is probably just under 3 miles per kilowatt. So that's 360 watts per mile. You've got rapid charge there, that's 220 miles per hour, and usable battery, you've got 85 kilowatt hour. So it's quite a big battery, so quite heavy. All-wheel drive, new, £64,500. I looked at the cheapest three. So you're talking around £39,000 for the cheapest four-wheel drive electric car. So the next cheapest is the Model S. Now you've got the Model S 90D, 75D. I didn't put the 85D on there because it is a lot older, but the D stands for dual motor. And what that basically means is dual, obviously two, one motor in the front, one motor in the back, so driving the front and the rear wheels, hence four-wheel drive. Now the number 75, 85, 90, that is to do with the battery size. As you just heard, I said the usable battery on the I-Pace is 85, so on the Tesla Model S, 75 is a 75 kilowatt battery, although the usable on that is 73, and then the Model S 90D is an 86 kilowatt hour usable battery. So the usable is how much you can actually use, because they don't tend to go with the full factory figure of the one that they say, aka 90. That is to keep the longevity of the battery. If you're not keen on an I-Pace, you want something, and you look at the figures here, this is really interesting, because you've got the Model 75D, that's 235 mile range on average, which is the same as the I-Pace. The Model S 90D does 285, so considerably more, another 50. But you look at the efficiency here. The efficiency, you got 300 and 309, which is what? You got pretty much 60 better than the Jaguar. So expect those cars to be more efficient. I mean, bearing in mind they're not SUVs, but they are still hatchbacks. So if you've got a dog or what have you, that would work well. You've also got the new price. Doesn't show it for the 90S, but new at £72,000 for the Model S 75D. And of course, you've got the Tesla chargers, so a massive benefit there. I mean, yes, some people get range anxiety, but the biggest anxiety, of course, is public charging. Public charging is very, very sporadically working at the moment, although it's getting better. So cheapest, you're talking 40,000. And look, there's no difference, according to the same figures that I used on Auto Trader, between a 75D and a 90D. The 0-60 is the same, top speed slightly more on the 90D. I mean, I didn't actually focus on this, but the I-Pace is 4.8, 0-60, the Tesla's a 4.4. But it does look pretty good value actually, going for a Tesla Model S 90D, because it's 40 grand, which is about £1,000 more than the I-Pace, and a lot more efficient, and you know, a lot more benefits in the KPIs here, key performance indicators. But if you're on an SUV, well, obviously the I-Pace wins there. So the next car you've got is a Tesla Model 3 long range, 280 mile range. This is the car that I've got. So same 0-60 as the Tesla Model S is, 4.4. Good top speed. Efficiency 250. That is mega. That is 4 miles per kilowatt on average. I've managed to get 5 miles per kilowatt doing 70 miles an hour ish on the motorway a couple of weeks ago. Really impressed with that. You cannot beat, at the moment, Teslas for efficiency and rapid charging, and obviously performance at the moment. Yeah, build quality is not great, but you know, it's depending on what's important to you. 0-60, of course. New price of the long range Model 3, 50k, although I think it's a lot more now, but the cheapest out there, £41,500, but they are going up dramatically, although there are a lot hitting the market at the moment. I did notice on the auctions yesterday quite a few Model 3 long ranges getting sold in auction. So if you don't want a saloon or a hatchback, but you don't want a Jaguar I-Pace for whatever reason, what's your next option? Well, the next option is an Audi e-tron. Now, with the Audi e-tron, they do a 50 and a 55, and once again, it's to do with the battery, and it's also to do with the 0-60. So if we take the 50 first of all, so the 50 is 6.8 0-60 and 118 top speed, 175 mile range, and it's more expensive than the I-Pace and all these other cars in the used car market. 175. That basically means in the winter, if you're driving it, you know, fairly speedily and you've got all the electrics on, you might not get more than 120 mile range. And this car is £43,000. That's a lot of money, but you know, Audi quality, lovely car to drive. I've driven one a long time ago. Rapid charging is better than the I-Pace. The efficiency is slightly worse, so it's not as efficient. Again, all drive SUV, but they are lovely cars to be inside. Then the 55, that is the bigger battery still. So sorry, the 50 was a 65 kilowatt usable battery, so 20 kilowatt hour less than the I-Pace. And then the 55 is an 87 kilowatt hour battery, which is 2 kilowatt hours more than the I-Pace. So the 55, 5.7, 0-60, 124 miles an hour top speed, 225 mile range. That's 10 mile range less than the I-Pace, and it's got a bigger battery. It's not as efficient, again, it's the least efficient at 384 watts per hour. So, I mean, that is bordering on 2.5 miles per kilowatt. Charging speed is much better than the I-Pace. So, okay, you're going to lose on the efficiency and the range, but if you want to charge it quick, it'll be much better. That's 40, the 50 is 43 grand, and the 55 is 40, pretty much 43 versus 45. So, some interesting prices here. So these are the cheapest four drives in the market, starting at £38,700. That's not cheap, you know. For people that, you know, live in a village with lots of hills in the winter, they're going to find it tough. Let's switch it. I mean, there's other four drives there, but but they're a lot more expensive. So let's switch it to new. Are there any cars out there new Yes, there's going to be a long lead time. At the moment, we are July, at the moment, mid-July. I'm just going to switch it to new. I'm going to go to drivetrain, take out front wheel drive and rear drive, and then do price, smallest to highest. Right, this is interesting. I've not done this, this is the first time I've done it. So the cheapest four-wheel drive electric car, brand new, is a Subaru Solterra all-wheel drive, which is actually the same car as the Toyota BZ4X all-wheel drive, more or less. So that's interesting. That car, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you can order one, but it's certainly not hit the market, I don't think. So I'll look into that. £43,000 for a brand new car. Bear in mind these used ones that we were looking before, the I-Paces, etc. You're talking 2018, 2019. So we're talking 3-year-old car. Same with the Model S, probably even older on the Teslas. And the e-trons, they go from 2019 onwards. So you're talking at least 3 years old, maybe a bit more on the Teslas. Going to new here, brand new, Subaru all-wheel drive. You know, you could probably trust Subaru in terms of reliability. Bear in mind it's got Toyota tech in there. I think Subaru are owned by Toyota now, or certainly a large percentage. Not as quick, no, but it's an SUV. It's four-wheel drive, 7.7 0 to 60, which is respectable. Top speed 99, says you're getting a big speeding ticket. 225-mile range, so that's a decent range. Efficiency 317, which is pretty good. Rapid charge is pretty good as well, and it is a smaller battery. It's probably why it's more efficient, because not as much weight. So it'd be interesting to have a look at the lead time on one of those. So that's the Subaru Solterra, same as the Toyota BZ4X, which is actually £5,000 more. Wow, interesting. Next one is the Volvo XC40 Recharge. So there is the XC40 front wheel drive, I believe, and the Recharge, which is the four wheel drive from what I've seen. If any of this is wrong, please comment, because I might have got the odd one wrong. I'm only human. But you know, using Google to sort this out and try and populate the spreadsheet. So you've got the XC40, which is the Volvo. It's quite a small Volvo. It's a small SUV. 210-mile range, 319 efficiency, 280 rapid charge. So it's very similar there to the Subaru. Bit quicker, bit less range, smaller battery size. So if you're looking for not as big SUV, the Volvo is the way to go. That starts from 43.5. Then it jumps up to 46, and that is the Polestar 2 long range. Well, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting to see that there, because the Polestar is pretty premium, and that's 4.7 0 to 60. Wow, that's a real jump up. And the top speed's 127, very good. Range 145. 245, which is very respectable. Efficiency 300 odd, which is good, so 3 miles per kilowatt on average. Rapid charge is better than the other two as well, 75 kilowatt hour battery. Saloon, is it saloon? I'm pretty sure it's a saloon, that's where I wrote it, but it might be hatch, but let's go with saloon, that's what I wrote. So 46,000. So if you compare to the used there, you can spend another £4,000 to £5,000 and get a new car, and it's likely to be better on a finance deal or a lease than buying a used. But just to run through very swiftly the other ones, you've got ENIAC IV80X, 80 being the battery size, X being four-wheel drive, because ENIACs are actually rear-wheel drive. iX1 xDrive 30 as well. There's a few others like EV6 long range, that's in there. It's starting to climb to 50k now. The Toyota, which is the same as Subaru. ENIAC Coupe IV, ID4 GTX, that's 50 grand. EQA 300 4MATIC, because the 4MATIC in Mercedes stands for four-wheel drive as well. And that we're getting up to the over 50k now. And I mean, they're not stopping until they go up to, hang on, here we go. EQS, £157,000. You know, the four-wheel drives are very expensive when you're talking electric, but hopefully this is giving you a bit of an insight into what is available and what is going to be saving a lot of time, doing all the research. If you've got any other questions about this, in fact, let's just go to most efficient. And in fact, let's go to best range. So the best range four-wheel drive car is the EQS 584 Matic at 120 grand. Well, let's see if we can find the best range under 60,000. So looking here on the right hand side, here we go, 55,000. What's that? A Tesla Model 3 long range? It can't be. Yeah, it is. So that's, yeah, £55,000. They've just increased the price of that a couple of times this year already. So again, Model 3 long range, 300 mile range, 250 efficiency. Like I said, I've seen 5 miles per kilowatt on mine, 460 rapid charge. Always tick in the box in terms of being one of the most efficient. You know, oh, they're not built properly, and you know, I mean, it's one of them. So what is the most efficient four-wheel drive? The best long range under 60,000, because I'm always talking about value here, but you know, there are other things that people take into consideration, and at some point, once I'm happy with the spreadsheet, I will put this spreadsheet on my website, which is www.chargeheads.co.uk, which is to do with my other channel, which is EV conversions and modified EVs. I'm converting a TVR to electric, and also modifying a Tesla Model 3 long range, and I've also got a 1970s scooter, which is a bit mad, which we've converted to electric with a friend, with the help of my friend Vinny. Most efficient, let's have a look. What is the most efficient in here? Most efficient, do you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you know what? The top 5 most efficient electric cars. I wonder what they are. That's right, it's the Tesla. Top, Tesla Model 3 long range. Then 3 performance, S long range, S Plaid, Y long range. Yes, the Plaid isn't in this country yet, but I thought I'd put it in there. Then most efficient after that at 281 is the iX1, then the XQS, then another Tesla, then a Porsche Taycan 4S, interestingly, then the Enyaq Coupe ATX at just shy of 50,000, and then the EV6 Kia. So yeah, interesting figures. Again, we're focusing on all-wheel drive cars here, four-wheel drive. But what I'll do next time is focus on some different combinations, maybe look at just German cars, not just focusing on SUVs, just focusing on front-wheel drive cars. If you can't afford a four-wheel drive car, that'll be my next one. So most best value front-wheel drive cars, most efficient. Again, I really hope this has been useful for people. I'm at Bedford River Festival on the 23rd and 24th with Chargeheads, TVR Wedgie, my electric TVR conversion, the Tesla, Rusty Tesla, and Special Trike will be there as well. So if you've got any questions about electric cars, come and see me there. But please share this video. A lot of people I know will want to know about four-wheel drive electric cars. There's got to be so many people out there, and it is a minefield, guys, a massive minefield of knowing what's efficient, what's the best value for money. Times are hard, everything's expensive. Let's try and keep the costs down and make the good cars, make them sell more and make more of the better cars. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.